What is up, everyone? It is episode 71 of the Standing 8 podcast. I'm Aaron Soria from Los Angeles. Co-hosting with me on this very special episode is Tommy Rush Jr. from Dallas, Texas. Tommy Rush Jr. is also the owner of Dallas-based barbecue catering service, BSHQ Barbecue. Follow his establishment if you're interested in the service in the Dallas area. But how are you today, Tommy? How you been, man?
Man, been doing good. So first things first on that, football is back. NFL is back. So
Good.
hey, we gotta love when NFL is back. So everybody that likes Sunday ticket, all your teams, red zone, all that action is back. So that's a great. It's always a great day when NFL is back. So yeah, man, I've been doing good. Been doing good, man. How about you?
Great, great. Yeah, same here, same here. Nothing new with me, but yeah, right on, Tommy. Um, but let's get into it. We have a very, very special guest of honor on this episode. It is the one and only Richard Cool Breeze Brewart Jr., undefeated super welterweight prospect, 10 wins, 4 knockouts from Rancho Cucamonga, a few miles east of Los Angeles, for those who don't know. Welcome to the program, sir. It's a tremendous honor to have you on the show. First off, how are you today this afternoon?
Good. I'm good. Just here, resting, chilling at home, dealing with this heat over here because it's nice and hot over here.
Yeah, I feel you that. I feel you on that. Um, so let's get right to it. Your last fight was on June 6th on the 321 boxing series at the Omega Products event center in Corona. Uh,
Yep.
you faced a very tough, rugged opponent in Dante Stubbs from Riverside. You would eventually come out with the victory via unanimous decision. Although you would have preferred the knockout victory, how satisfying was it to methodically box your way to a convincing decision?
Oh, it felt great, especially because of the lead up to the fight with the weigh-in. He was starting to talk and do his thing. But it felt great. It was just I trained really hard for that fight. I hired a new strength and conditioning coach. I started working on a lot more different things, more defensive minded. Um, it was just a great victory all around. Yeah, I would have rather had the knockout. I almost had him in the sixth round. I caught him with the body shot, hurt him, but either way, a win's a win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Right on, right on. Yeah, and as I pulled up on the screen, this is one of the pivotal shots that landed against your opponent. Following that victory was a very pivotal moment in your career when you officially signed with Thompson Boxing
Yes.
later in that same month of June. What was that feeling like heading into their headquarters in the city of Orange and signing that contract?
It was great. It's hard to get signed. I mean, that's what everybody wants to get. Everybody wants to get signed and just get their career moving. That's just a big step in your career because not a lot of people want to move people, put time in, and people put money. It takes a lot just to get there, and man, it's huge just to get that signing. I love working with Thompson. They've taken care of me since day one. I've never had a problem with them. Mr. Thompson, Alex, everybody just they love me over there. I love working with them. It's probably one of the best things I've done, honestly, in my career.
Absolutely. And obviously, the founder, Ken Thompson, who's been in the boxing game for over 20 years. Any specific advice did he impart on you on that special day?
Oh man, he told me as soon as I signed, he's all like, "This ain't just fun no more. This is a business now. This is your lifestyle. This
Yeah.
is it. You're starting a whole new thing here. So you just got to be ready to work, and that's it. Be ready 24/7 to fight. Be ready. Have that phone on you, no matter what. So once we call it, let's just go."
Right on, right on. I want to take it to the past now. How was boxing in general? How was it introduced to you? Um, was boxing pretty much part of your family, or if not, how was it injected into your life?
No, I was the first one actually.
Oh yeah,
Um, I was a out of shape kid that I was very heavy set. Just wanted to get in shape, lose some weight, and I did that. And out of nowhere, I had my first fight when I was about 14, And I didn't really know I was gonna do it like I am now until I was about 16, 17. That's when I really took that step and said, okay, you know what, I want to do this like full time. This is what I want to do. And then I started training with Henry when I was 16 or 17. And ever since I've been with Henry, I've just been on the uphill rise from there. I won the Golden Gloves in 2018. I won the SoCal State tournament that same year. I had about 13 or 14 fights in 2018 that made me just blow up in the amateurs. Everybody started realizing who I was. I think I lost one fight that year, and it was at the nationals, and it was just like a fight that I should have won, but I fought a guy that was like a USA select, so you know how that goes,
Oh
politics.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I knocked him down in the first round. I gave him the second round because I got a little cocky and I started going head to head with him. But then the third round, I came back out and outboxed him like nothing. But they gave it to him, so I came back out here, fought one more tournament. I won that easy. The last day, I fought a kid that came. They came all the way from the UK. He had like 70 or 80 fights, and I made that fight look so easy. Everybody was like, and Henry was just like, Henry said, "We can't hold you back anymore. It's time to turn pro." So I turned pro in August of 2018, and here I am 3 years later, 10-0 now, signed with Thompson.
Um, with that, before you turn pro, with that amateur experience, you got exposed to a lot of international fighters. Um, uh, how was that feel? How was that like? Because in your pro career, you're now professionally, you're not fighting nationally, but in your before then, you were fighting people across the globe. Um,
Yeah.
uh, any difference in styles that you experience between people overseas versus here in the states?
Definitely. When I fought that guy from the UK, they're just rugged,
Mhm.
tough dudes. They don't stop coming. They're just there. I give it to him, man. That guy was tough. He just I was out boxing him, doing everything, and he just would not stop coming. They're just rugged as can be. But out here, you get a lot of. It's a mixture out here. You get your guys that are rugged. You get your guys that are slick boxers, fast boxer punchers. You kind of get it all out here. So I mean, once you fight somebody that comes from out of state or out of the country, it's not really something too crazy new. But everybody has their own style, so you just never know what you're gonna run into. Honestly.
Right on, right on. Tommy, I know you got some great questions. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, man. So one, first off, Richard, pleasure to have you, and we're blessed to have you on with us, joining us today, man. So, um, you talked about, how you transitioned from not really, knowing that you were going to do this to starting to do it and then winning the Golden Gloves. Um, Tell us about that experience. That moment when you achieved that. You actually went out there and won the Golden Gloves. Tell us what the feeling was like with that.
Oh, it was great. It was even better because when I fought at the Golden Gloves, so everybody knows California is a huge boxing state. Like you get the best of the best that come out of here. Like there's no doubt. There's one of the few states that just you see so many top fighters come out of. So at my weight, I was at the time I was fighting at 152 in the amateurs. That's like a very popular weight. Like so, I had to fight every day. Nobody really knew. I mean, people knew who I was, but nobody really knew who I was. And then there was your guys that were in my class that everybody knew, like, oh, this kid's good. Like, you're gonna be fighting somebody good. Like, so I was very underestimated at the time. I remember the first day I won easy, and then I fought some kid from out here, and he was just knocking everybody out. That's what he was known for, just knocking people out. And then I just remember we fought, and when they announced me as the winner, that's when everybody started realizing, oh damn, this kid's good. Like, and then I fought another kid, completely different style, two different styles in 2 days. The second day I fought a kid, he was just a puncher, but he just came forward. And then the next day I fought another guy that was a fast, slick boxer, and nobody knew that I could box and I was quick and I could move, like I could fight defensive minded. Everybody thought I was just gonna be a flat footed kid, another kid that just the same thing. And then I fought that kid and I outslicked him. Like it was crazy. Everybody, I outboxed him. So I just showed different styles in my game, and man, it was just huge. It opened up everything, and then after that, it was just sky's the limit. And here I am now.
Okay. All right, man. Tell us let's hear what motivates you. You know, every athlete, you know, everybody that is competitive, you know, you have some deep-rooted motivation. So, you know, tell us a little bit about what is it that that motivates Richard Brewart down to the spirit? Like what is it that keeps you going in this boxing game, man?
Man, and it's my family mainly. My family here, they do everything. My mom, my dad, my sister. I take care of my disabled uncle. Everybody, they're the ones that are the root of it. They're my backbone. They've gotten me. I wouldn't be here without them, especially my dad. He goes with me every day to the gym faithfully. It never fails. Till this day, I've been boxing for 11 years now. Every morning we drive out to Riverside from Rancho, and that's it. But my family is the main thing that they're my motivation. I couldn't really say much else. Obviously, I want to be that guy. I want to be that top guy. So obviously that motivation. I want to be that world champion, multiple division, unified if possible. You know that motivates me too. But my family is the main attribute to my motivation for sure.
Okay, all right, man. Yeah, I viewed some of your fights, and you know, one that I saw that was it was a pretty nice little banger, man. It was you and what's the guy's name? Luis Fernandez, I believe it
Oh yeah,
was. You know, you had to overcome some adversity in that fight. You know,
yeah.
he was getting you a little bit, and you just like you completely overcame that, man. You came back out. You stuck with your grit. You know, you dug deep, and you gave them that business. So you know, when you're in the thick of things in a fight like that, you know, and you know you get caught in those type of moments. Tell us and tell the listeners as well, like what type of things are going through your mind at that time,
Man, that fight was only 2 rounds, but it was the longest 2 rounds of my career.
right?
The first
And
round,
you came back from that first round. I remember
yeah,
he technically knocked you down, but you turned the tables real quick.
yeah, he caught me with a body shot actually in the first round, and it just took everything from me. I couldn't breathe. It took my air, everything. It was just a perfect shot, and he started unloading on me because I sat on the ropes trying to catch my win. Everybody thought I was hurt from a headshot because I hit the body shot really well, but it was a body shot that hurt me, and then I couldn't stay up after a while because he was just unloading. So my coach in the corner and well, both of my coaches that were in the corner were telling me take a knee, just take the 8 count and get everything back. You know, like don't take the risk of sitting there banging it out and getting caught again and possibly getting hurt with a headshot or something. So I took the knee. I got up. He did. I'm guessing he didn't know that I was hurt with the body shot or whatever it was because he didn't jump back on me right away. And even in that round, even after I got up, I took control of that rest of that round without a problem. But man, when all I remember was when I got knocked down, the ref was counting, and I was just like, "What the heck is going on right now?" I was like, I'd never been here. That was a whole new situation. That's the first time that ever happened. So it was like, man, what is going on right now? I just remember I heard 8, I got up and just right back to work. And in the second round, I made my adjustments, started getting behind my jab a lot more, and then I kept throwing the right downstairs. He kept falling for the. He was dropping his left hand a lot, so I kept baiting him. I was hitting him with the right downstairs, the right hook to the body, and then I brought it upstairs. I feinted it like if I was gonna go to back downstairs. So he dropped his hand trying to block it, and I came right upstairs with the right hand, and that was just it. I set it up perfect though. He thought I was going to the body, and came right back up top.
Yeah, man, and I mean, you had him doing a stanky leg out there, man. It was nice, man. It was nice. It was a wonderful finish to it, man. And you know, congratulations on all of your success that you've seen and that you will continue to see, you know, throughout your career. One thing that I wonder, man, is so we're gonna talk kind of like what you know what ifs if you had your way, right now? I know that you are still up and coming in the sport, but if you had your way, what or which I should say, which boxer, which fighter that is somewhat highly touted at this time, would you like to see yourself get in the ring against?
If we're talking about top guys right now, you got to go with the money guys. Obviously, either Carlo brothers, um, Canelo. Obviously, I beat him in the middle at 60 or something. He came back down from 68 because I'm at 54. Um, those would be the main guys right now that are the high guys at my weight. So those would be the main people. Those three guys, the Charlo brothers or Canelo, man. Those are the top guys right now.
Okay, yeah, hey, money talks. You always got to go with the money. So
Yeah,
that hey, you fight for legacy, and you fight for to get paid, prize fighting, man, as well.
yeah.
So um, you talked earlier about the fighters overseas and things like that. What do you think a fight between you and Tim Tszyu would look like?
I haven't seen much about him. I,
Hmm.
he's good too, but I don't know. When I fight, I have like my IQ is really high when it comes to boxing. A lot of people don't realize that. They think I'm just a basic textbook fighter when I fight, but my IQ is really high. So I usually outsmart guys before I knock them out or anything like that. And that's what gets me my finishes. I always technically start first round. All right, I'm gonna go to the body. The whole fight, I'm just a body guy. Like I'll snatch your body up real quick. And that's what I wear guys down with. If I get lucky, I'll catch you with your headshot. I'll set it up. But most of the time, I don't know. He's good, but he ain't my good.
I heard that. I heard that, man. Yeah, it'd definitely be an interesting thing, and I think that a lot of us that are more prone to be like purists of the sport, we love that body game.
Yeah, that's
Most
to me.
most what's that?
That's huge in my arsenal. Like it takes so much from a fighter. I don't care who you are. Nobody likes getting hit to the body.
Hmm.
Anybody could shake off a headshot, but when you get hit to the body, man, that it haunts you for the rest of the fight. Like it doesn't never goes away. It wears you down, and you
That
start
pain
getting
lingers. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that stuff lingers and it sticks with you, man. And
yeah.
and you get people getting those alligator arms and everything. You start protecting that body, man. So we absolutely love that type of stuff, man. I think that it would be, absolutely see some great fights coming your way, man, because you got a lot of promise, a lot of potential, a lot of skill, and you're seeing a lot of success.
Thank you.
So no problem, man. Tell us, so one thing, this is a random. So tell us one thing that a lot of people do not know about you.
Mm. One thing people don't know about me, I could say, shoot, I'm not a very like I'm not out there that crazy. I take care of my disabled uncle. A lot of people know that though because that's the main thing I do. I work for a school district. I work with kids. Um, and then I box. That's really what I do. That's what everybody knows, but there's not much to it. I just boxing is my life. So everything else that comes with it, taking care of my uncle, working for the schools, taking with the kids. That's the main thing. Everybody, if they don't know that, that would be something they would find out about me for sure.
Okay, all right. When you're in the gym, what's your go-to thing that gets you hyped up and motivated?
Man, I love to spar. I love sparring. I love sparring because obviously when you're in the gym full of people, if the sparring's good, it just hypes you up. Everybody gets all hyped up in the gym, ranting and talking, and everybody's talking their smack, just messing around. Just that's always the best when you get a gym full of people just hyping everything up because that obviously builds you. That just gets you going, and you just want to keep going. So, but I also like to work out with. I'm big on like bag work, and my coach is always right there. So that's another thing that gets me going. When my coach is right there on my ear, just constantly telling me, that gets me pushed, that pushes me, that pushes me. So those are the main things that I do in the gym that I would say get me going, hyped up.
Okay. All right. Um, what is the difference? And this is a whole. I'm coming with the random ones, man. Like, what is the difference that you get? The like the feeling, the hearing, the experience overall between fighting in front of an entire crowd and like right now during this pandemic where a lot of places have are not open with the fans back into the fights.
Yeah.
What's the difference in that? Like, what as a fighter in the ring, what do you feel when it comes to the difference in those two?
And the difference is huge. Let me tell you. Let's just put it this way: with no crowd, it feels like at the beginning, like when you're walking out and stuff, it kind of feels like you're going into a sparring session. But once you get hit with them small gloves, you wake up and you realize, oh, this ain't no sparring. This is real. Like this is the real fight. Because those little gloves make a huge difference. But when you come out with the crowd, it just everything, your adrenaline, your hype, everything, it just pumps you up. Like you get excited. Like it's just a whole nother feeling. It's hard to explain like the way that feels. Like being in front of all your people that are there and whoever else is there, cheering you on. It's just huge. It's a major difference. It's just a hype difference, really. You go into a fight, you want to have a crowd. Like you want to be your adrenaline rushing. You want to be excited, not when you walk out to no crowd and it's just like dead, nobody there, just quiet. Like you literally just hear you hitting each other and that's it. Like it's not fun, but it had to be done for now. Now they're starting to get back on the crowds. Thompson just had their first show
Hmm.
last month and it was lively. That place was sold out. There was a lot of people. So I know the next time I should fight, there should be a crowd.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I can tell you, for us, it's very different as well. Because I mean, I think maybe a little bit for the boxing fans, it's a little more intriguing to us than obviously you all and what it means to your motivation, your energy, all of that stuff, because we get to hear so much more. Like we
Yeah,
like when you said like, well, we're hearing each other like punch each other. Like being able to hear those punches very clearly for the fans is something that's a little different as well. Being
yeah,
able to hear like super clearly what your corners are yelling at you, those
yeah,
different types of things, which you all may hear a lot more clear because you're right there in the ring, but
yeah. When I
it,
fight, I don't know if it's only me or if other people are the same way, but it's crazy. When I fight, I don't hear the crowd at all. I only hear my coach. Like I don't know, I just zone it out. Like I know how to channel myself in where I won't hear the crowd yelling. I only hear my coach, and that's it. It's crazy.
I would imagine that's like a lot of fighters. You'll get that tunnel vision and focus
Yeah,
to where you hear that voice, that voice, and you know what that voice is doing for you while you're in there,
yeah,
and they're helping guiding you through that fight. So I would imagine that's something that a lot of fighters probably do. But I mean, even the ability to do that in itself is amazing, to compartmentalize the sounds, and shut the fans off and focus. It's phenomenal, man. So yeah, like that's great, man. Aaron, what you got?
Um, Now, Richard, going back to your signing, but actually the short period before your signing, I'm reading this very interesting piece from your press release. Before your signing, the last three opponents had a combined record of 20-1, three draws, 11 KOs across those three opponents. So obviously that was a really big test for you. Um, during that stint, can you speak on the urgency through those battles that led up to your eventual signing with Thompson Boxing?
yeah. Me and Thompson, we have been talking about signing for a while, but they're just putting me on. We were fighting, so we weren't stressing it too much because no matter what, they were taking care of me. but my last 3 fights were what made everything. You know, I fought tough guys that were coming to win. I didn't fight no guys that were just, you know, there for a paycheck real quick to be added to the record.
Right.
All 3 of those guys came to fight. All 3 of those guys came to beat me, knowing that they were in a real fight. You know, every single one of them thought they were gonna beat me. It wasn't like I was fighting a guy that, oh, this guy's good. You know, no, it was they thought they were gonna come beat me. They either thought they were gonna knock me out, they thought they were gonna beat me by decision, whatever it was. Those guys, they were real tough guys, no matter what. Everyone had a different style, but those made me who I was. Like me getting knocked down just showed a whole nother character side of me. Like I got up next round, I finished it. Like that just showed a whole different type of thing. My last fight, I came and showed a whole different another aspect of me, more defensive, knowing how to switch defense to offense like really well. Like every fight has made me better. I've learned every time I fought. No, there's no getting around that. I've learned from all of them, but definitely, man, they were tough, and that was just what made everything right.
Speaking on that, yeah, when you're facing fighters that have the same motivations as you, that want to be at a different level that you want to attain to, that's only gonna bring your game up and bring out the best in you. So I
Yeah,
definitely agree on that. Um, Now going forward, uh, how do you what type of matchups? How do you in the near future? What matchups do you foresee yourself fighting now? Now that you're an official stablemate of Thompson Boxing.
man, there's a lot of fights that are going on. A lot of fighters at my weight, but I know there's one guy that's at my weight that it's gonna happen. I don't know when, but the fight's gonna happen. Me and Joey Spencer. All the hype's on that guy right now, but I'm gonna take that down for sure. He's good, but he ain't. He's overrated to me. He's not gonna be able to fight a good boxer. They're putting him in with guys. He hasn't fought nobody like me. Yeah, he's fought tough guys, but they fed him the right guys. Like I've actually been in there, and these dudes are coming to knock me out. Like some of these guys they're putting him in with, they're just there, and obviously, you know, he beats him. It is what it is. He fought a guy that came up from like 140 his last fight. All this, and then he has all this hype about his power, you know, and it's just like, okay, you fought a guy that came from 140 that has like no knockouts on his wins, and he didn't look his best. So he got exposed a little bit his last fight against a decent. He was a decent little boxer, but it wasn't nothing special. So, but that's gonna be the guy that we're coming for to make my. That's gonna be my breakout fight.
I'm very much looking forward to that matchup. That would be a very exciting fight. Tommy, your thoughts on that?
Hey,
I know you've seen Joey Spencer. Richard has mentioned him. What do you think about that matchup?
hey, I think that's going. I think it'd be a banger, man. Yeah, I think it would absolutely be a banger. Like you said, you feel that they throwing him softballs, but it's time to play some hardball now. So it ain't nothing to it but to do it. Get in the ring and let's do this thing, man, for real. So I would be very excited to see that fight, man. So I'm most definitely patiently waiting, little mildly patiently, because like you said, it's gonna happen. Let's see it. Let's get
Yeah,
that thing rolling, man.
eventually. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it's gonna happen. It's coming.
Let it simmer. So let it build up. Yep. Now, going forward, what fights are you now? You as a fan, what fights are you looking forward to as a fan? We got some big fights coming up in October. You got
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring. You got the uh, part three of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, just to name a few. But what fights are you personally looking forward to as a fan?
Yeah. No, the Wilder Fury fight is always it's always gonna be great because there's always crazy hype to it. You know, Tyson Fury is a big entertainer. Wilder's a trash talker, so it's always gonna be big, whether people think. Um, I think Fury does the same thing all over again in the third fight as he did the second fight. Who knows though? I know Deontay's been working, but that's gonna be a big fight. The Shakur Steven fight is gonna be good, but I think Shakur will outbox Jamel Herring. That's what it's gonna come down to, is who's gonna be the better boxer at the end of the day, and I think that's gonna be Shakur for sure. But the fight that I'm looking forward to, it hasn't been made yet, but is Crawford and Porter. If it gets made, that's gonna be a barn burner right there, because Porter's dirty and he's a rugged guy, man. That guy, he does everything that you don't want a fighter to do to you. He does it. He knows how to do it. He's strong. Um, but the skill of Crawford is just a whole nother level. Skill, speed, and power. Not only does he fight great right-handed, but he fights even better left-handed. So that's gonna be a barn burner for sure.
In relation to Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson, they're both friends actually outside the ring. Now, as it pertains to you, have you ever fought someone, whether it be in the amateurs or in the pros, that you actually know this person, you're actually friends with, that you actually been down with since day one? Have you ever been in that situation?
Actually, in the amateurs, I actually fought somebody that I was friends with for years. One time, and I mean, at that point, it's your friendship stays on the outside. Once you're in the ring, there's nothing you can't take that in there. There's no
Right.
they're trying to do the same thing. So at the end of the day, you got to set that aside. Once you're outside of the ring, you can be friends all you want, but inside, you got to put it aside and handle the business.
Feel that. Tommy, did you want to you have any other? Did you want to add something? I didn't know you.
No, man. I mean, really, I was just thinking, like we were talking about Crawford and Porter. I mean, like when Richard was talking about Porter. I mean, that dude, he's like a damn linebacker, and they're boxing, man, like a linebacker slash WWE. Like he's always a very tough, as you said, rugged fighter. He's going to physically tax you throughout the whole entire fight. Whether it's body shots, shots all over the place, just an awkward style, leaning on you, grabbing you, like he's going to physically tax you, and
Yeah.
that's part of that strategy. But he's also a very sound boxer as well. Like, so, it's always, I think that, and a lot of us think, Porter is one of those guys that nobody really wants to fight.
Nope.
And that's why he has such a great resume. Like, he already has a Hall of Fame resume pretty much. And it's because he's that guy that you get in the ring with to see what you're really, really made of, because he's going to do all kinds of sort of different things that are not they're not typical. They're not, the everyday boxer or the everyday brawler. He's a very unique style, and
Yeah.
so
When he fought Danny Garcia, nobody thought he was gonna be the more technically sound boxer. He was the one boxing at the end of the day, and at his times he was roughing him up too. But man, he could box too. He could be slick. He can be behind the jab. But his thing is coming in and just mauling you down and freaking breaking you down piece by piece, and that's his big thing. But he's quick too. He's got power. He just has it all, just in one package. So it's definitely somebody you don't want to run into.
yeah, I think his style in the ring is about as unique as his outfits out of the ring. He's got some unique stuff out of the ring.
Now, Richard, have you ever faced someone with a motor similar to a Porter?
Man, this last guy that I fought, that pressure was nonstop.
Right.
He just kept coming and coming and coming. No matter whatever I hit him with, he did not stop. He was tough dude. Um, Technically, like, I haven't fought anybody that has like all those different attributes in one. But my last fight was definitely one of my toughest, because that pressure was just gnarly. Like, no matter whatever I hit him with, strong, fast, whatever, I would stop him for a second and bam, he'll be right back on the gas. Like, so it wears you down after a while. In the 6th round, I was feeling it, like, oh man, like this pressure is getting to me, but you can't. You just got to fight through it. It's all mental.
No doubt, no doubt. I want to give a shout out to I mentioned this before off air. A friend that I know personally, Luis Aguilar. He's close friends of
Oh
your
yeah,
dad's. I'm
yeah,
not sure if your dad's still part of the illegal biker group, but yeah, um, that's how they know each other, and that's how I was able to connect with you.
yeah,
But
yeah. Long time.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Let me just share this picture. Uh, I know you remember this one. This is back in your February 2020 fight.
I
Um,
picture.
so yeah, that's Luis Aguilar on the far right. Shout out to Luis, for connecting us with Richard. Um, this was against. Oh, I have it right here. This was against Eric Daniel Martinez, February 2020 at the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario. Anything you remember from that fight? Anything from that
Yeah,
performance you had?
I had just came back after being out for like 8 months on that fight because I injured my hand, and that was the last fight that I had with the crowd. And then I was supposed to fight in April right after that, and COVID started. But I fought that guy that I fought. He was tough. That was a tough dude too. He had like, I think, like 30 something fights. He was just one of those guys that came to fight, and he was just
Nothing to
there.
lose. Right, right. So yeah, shout out to Luis Aguilar. Um, uh, oh, Tommy, any concluding thoughts or questions you may have for Richard?
Oh man, I don't really have any more questions, man. But just again, genuine appreciation for you joining us and taking part of this. We're supporters of you, man, and we absolutely look forward to seeing the continued prospered success that you're going to have in your career. We look forward to that fight with Spencer. We look forward to
Definitely, definitely.
all of the big money fights you're gonna get yourself into, man.
Um,
Um, you
um,
know, Absolutely wish you nothing but the best. And do you have any mentions, any shout outs, any people that have been behind you all along that you want to give some praise and shout outs on the platform right now?
yeah, I have a few that I would want to give out. A few of my parents, obviously my mom, my dad, my sister, my uncle. They're the backbone to everything. They've been here since I was obviously started day one since I started boxing till now, and it's never changed. Um, my sponsors, a few sponsors that I have, AB, my buddy AB, he's a tattoo artist. He owns a shop called 3 Foot Radius. He's been with me since day one, since I turned pro. He's been riding with me. Even before that, when I was amateur, he always made sure. Another buddy of mine, Dom, he's been sponsoring me for a while now. Whenever I call him, whenever I need something, he's always making sure I'm taken care of. Another sponsor, Verde Wheels, they're taking care of me now. They just started sponsoring me actually right after this last fight. Continental Tires, they're another sponsor that I have. Um, Everlast, of course. Man, I love working with Everlast because they take care of me. Training gear, my fight gear, gloves, the suit, everything. They whenever I need it, I call. They take care of me. That's a big thing. And of course, Alex and Mr. Thompson over at Thompson Boxing. They're the backbones to this too. They put me in all these fights, made sure I was always ready. Whenever, never had any fights with them. Um, Also, another one that I have is Prep Life. They're my meal company. They've been sponsoring me since before I turned pro. Actually, I've been working with them. I've been working with them now for about 4 or 5 years. They're another one. They're huge. They help me out a lot. But yeah, everybody just Henry, of course, my coach. He's obviously the backbone to everything too. He brought me up huge, and I appreciate him for that because he's done a lot for me, no doubt. I can I can't appreciate him enough on how much he's done for my career because he manages me and coaches me. So not only does he train me, but he makes sure I get the right fights. He makes sure I'm getting everything that I need, no matter what, 24/7.
Hey, that's awesome, man. Awesome. Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to everybody that you just mentioned, man. So, got a wonderful team behind you and a lot of supporters, man. Always.
Definitely. Thank you guys for having me for sure.
For sure, for sure. I also had this one question I almost forgot to ask you. In one of your recent stories, you were giving out the body shot challenge. Um, how many have you doled out so far? And how many have passed, if any?
There's only been two guys that have tried it. One of my really close friends, he wanted to put on the shield, and he took a few of them, and then I caught him with one that hurt him. And then the other day, I had a guy want to do it without the shield. I was like, man, you're crazy. These they're crazy. But he took it. I was surprised, but I didn't know that he was actually a fighter too. So I was like, oh, of course, like you're gonna know how to take a shot. So you've been working out, you know. But I was tripping out at first when he was like, go for it. I was like, all right then. You want to take your chance and go for it, let's do it. But yeah, not you don't get to the lie. Obviously, people are like, heck no, I don't want to get hit by you. But yeah.
Right on, right on. But yeah, shout out to all your sponsors. It's very obvious you have a massive support group that stretches
Yes.
miles, figuratively, literally. Yeah, shout out to every one of your sponsors, your family that continues to support you all the way. Um,
Yes.
from me, Tommy Rush Jr., our panelists who couldn't make it, Courtney Tanner, Michael Gomes, we all wish you continued success in your boxing journey.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you for taking time take out of your busy schedule to be part of this program, and we wish you nothing but the best, man.
No, thank you. Thank you guys for having me big time. I appreciate it.
Well, that's going to be it for episode 71 of the Standing 8 podcast. I'm Aaron Soria from Los Angeles. This is Tommy Rush Jr. next to me from Dallas, Texas. And special guest of honor, Richard Cool Breeze Brewart Jr. So gracious enough to be on with us on this Sunday. Thanks to everyone viewing this live. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe, guys. Peace.